Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Craft the World. And on this episode, we are going to continue where we left off, but I did get a nice piece of information that I think is going to really change how we're going to continue on from here. And the piece of information I got was from Rob. I want to give him a big shout out for that. What he told me, and then sent me to a link of a video that I could actually go check out, was that these blocks can be destroyed. They take an extremely long amount of time to do it, depending on the level of your pickaxe and your mining skill and things of that sort. But they just have so much more, if you want to say hit points, or just structure to them, that it takes. It looked like 7 to 8 minutes a piece. It may even be longer than that. Again, depending on your pickaxe and stuff. So my idea would be, because there's really no way I could come in here and fight all these guys through this little doorway over here. I mean, this would just be death for my guys coming in here one at a time. So what I was thinking was, I will dig from underneath, because if I dig from the side, then they will have to come out, and it'd have to be 2 by 2, because the big guys can't come out of one. And the moment I destroy one of these things, unless I do it right here where the sand is, these guys are going to start flinging fire at me and things of that sort. So I figured it'd just be easier to dig from underneath, because that way I only have to dig one square, and no matter how tall they are, they're not, too wide, so they will fall down. And when they fall down, they may take a little bit of damage depending on how far I go. And then I can create an entire pathway back this way, which is exactly where all of them will go except for the Guardian. And as they go that route, they're going to step on, my traps one by one by one. And I don't think it's going to kill all of them, because this is not a good enough distance and a great enough distance for that much damage to take place against these big guys, because they take so many more hits than the little dudes, and the little dudes always find a way to get in. And so I think it's just going to help me mitigate some of the damage, of these creatures. But in the end, I'm still going to have to go in there and actually, wipe out the rest of them. So I think that's still going to be cool. I mean, yeah, it's a little cheating, but I really don't see any other way we can, hope to get in here and actually have a chance at winning than to do this. So we're going to go down. Actually, we're going to start from down here on the bottom, because the last thing I want is one of my dwarves coming in here from the top to try to get that little first piece, which I'm almost guaranteeing would actually happen. I mean, they're not the brightest in the world, and they do kind of tick me off sometimes at, the little tiny mistakes that they make, which, I can't blame them. I mean, they have no idea what I'm thinking. They're just following the orders. So you do got to actually keep in mind that they don't read your mind, It's like, you can get mad at them all you want, but your orders may be kind of confusing because you're sending so many of them. So let's see, Warrior's Book, increase the damage inflicted by melee weaponry in close combat. So my first order of business will be to get this guy up here to the top, because again, it's going to take him so long once he actually starts get to digging, that we're going to be off doing something else while this is going on, because I'm thinking it's probably going to take 2, maybe even 3 episodes before we get through that. But there's a lot of other stuff we want to. Pyramid's energy is, it's blocking it. I can't even put scaffolding down. Dang it. Can they at least build? If they can build, they can build a ladder. So let me put the ladder down right here where the beds are. Man, I hope this works. Yes, they can. Okay. Well, it's going to take a little bit longer to get up there, but at least I know they have that. The downside to that, though, is when I do break through, I don't know if they're going to get stuck on the ladder. And then I'll have to send my guys in here to take the ladder pieces down one at a time, and they're going to get hurt while they do that. So we'll just have to wing it and see exactly how that goes. But I still believe this is the best bet. I mean, my guys I may lose one. The guy who's like right up here on the top when he first breaks through. I don't know how much damage he's going to take right away. Because this guy's going to fling fire at him right away, but will these other guys get a hit before he manages to fall down? Because I'm going to hit, return back to home the moment he breaks through, but I'm under attack. But oh. Oh, no. How did they not come over here and kill this guy? And I forgot I need to rebuild that, too. Well, we're not going to do that this second. We're going to finish getting that guy over there so that he can start digging. Because, again, like I said, it's going to take so long. I don't want to concern myself with anything until that's started. So let's get back over here. You can see just how far away it is from my base. But even with that said, let me put this here. Even with that said, it usually took, I think, you know, like I said, 3 to 4 traps to kill one of those guys, and I'm guessing there's at least 40 or 50 of those guys in there. So unless we, you know, did a maze like we did before and had them walk back and forth, but I don't really think that's gonna work, you know, because I can get them to go one direction, but how would I get them to go up? I don't think they can do that without those shield guys, and I don't think they have any of those guys in there. And even if they did, I think with that, you know, huge numbers, they would just dig right through the dirt to get to my base rather than go through this little maze. You know, when it's going down, that's one story, but when it's going back up, there they go. Okay, so they finally got that going. Now let's get back over here and repair our base, although you need to go rest. Well, I actually have quite a few people who are hurt. Let me tell some of them to go to sleep. Wow, that guy's really low. Yeah, you're going to sleep. Okay, so everybody else is good. Just 2 guys. So I need to replace this up here. So let's see where our hatch is. We'll put those down here now that we no longer need the wood. We'll replace that. Nope, not right there. And then we need to build more of those little towers. Let's see, where are those? I think they're back here actually. So I have 2 already. So let's put those down. That's exactly what I had before, and it seemed to be pretty good until I made the mistake of not having enough traps out here. So I need to actually refinish this wood, or not wood. It's dirt, and I'm not refinishing it. I'm putting it back down. Sorry, guys. So let's put this here. We're going to go ahead and start getting a little bit of wood. For one thing, I need to make room for the traps, and 2, I kind of want to build a whole bunch of traps for that area down there, and I think I have quite a bit of wood already, but you know, you can always use a little bit more. Now I was thinking about putting some of these guardrails down there when they get to the end. That way they're at least moving slow. Maybe my guys could pick them off one at a time as they come through, because I don't think I would really need a lot of these. Maybe 5 or 6 right there at the very end, and then build my guys a little ledge so they could kind of sit right above and just, you know, shoot down at them. I think that would really work out quite well for my guys, and they would get a decent amount of experience from it, I think. So, but again, somebody commented that, you know, on my last level, I was trying to get as high a level as possible, as quick as possible. And, you know, when the level is easy, that's not a bad, you know, idea to do. But when the level gets a little harder and the waves get, you know, even more difficult, faster, you kind of want to go slower in your level, but progress faster in your tech tree. That way you can get access to better armor before you start having 2 or 3 portals pop up on your map, because again, I don't have a Tesla tower yet, and once I do, that changes the game. I don't really have to worry about waves anymore, but until I get that, you know, it's very, very hard to survive these waves as it is. I couldn't even imagine having, you know, 3, 4, 5 waves like it was on the last level. And again, each wave on this level is so much harder than the one before, so taking into that account, when you finally get all those portals, you're just, you know, overwhelmed to the extent that I think you would, you know, die and lose the game. And I've actually heard from one of our viewers who said they lost the game once back before all these updates came out, so they don't know if it's still the same, but they lost their game because basically all their dwarves died, and I think he said they weren't respawning or something like that. So if you don't have any dwarves left, there's not much more for you to do. You know, you can't finish the level because you don't have anybody to do it. If you had at least one guy, you could be incredibly careful, and you know, actually maybe, you know, if you're incredibly lucky and use like you know, your fireballs and stuff to kill every enemy, you might be able to finish it off that way, but it would take you so long, and you'd have to be so careful. You know, like, he couldn't fall. If he fell even once, you just send him to bed, you know, like just a little bit of damage. So I guess it is possible, but I would not suggest letting yourself get to that point. So again, that's why I'm being a little bit more careful over here, and I just don't want to send all my guys in, because that would just be a nightmare. So let's do some more seeds. Let's see where the seeds are. They are. Gonna go ahead and make as much as we can. We're gonna hold off on the food. So I got the seeds down there for now. I do need to put some of it down just so my guys don't die. Actually, I don't know if they die from starvation. I know they go a lot slower when they're hungry, and when they're completely full and satisfied, they go so much more, you know, faster. They have beer, which really helps them out. I don't know why I'm getting so much lag again. Let's Let's see. Let's put some bread down. We don't have a lot of that. Let's see. And that's pretty good. I mean, looks like they got a nice little variety. They got coconuts, which I'm sure they're absolutely sick of. Apple pie, which, you know, is just delicious. And they got some eggs over here, which, you know, I guess they're not big morning people because they're not eating very much of it. And now they got some bread, so. And it sounds like it's raining. That's nice. It doesn't rain too often on this map, and I kind of miss the sound of it. So hopefully the next map will have a cool little sound. I mean, I've heard it's more like a hell level or something like that. So we are going to, let's see, we need to, while he's doing this anyways, we need to expand this tunnel. So let's come over here and put some dirt down. In fact, let me put a portal. This will make it faster for him. And we are going to dig all this up and make a nice little path. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be completely straight. So I think what I'm going to do is just start down here when we get to this point. So they'll just drop down and keep going this direction. Because I can put traps all along the way. There's really no reason it has to be absolutely perfect in the looks. In fact, I think it looked pretty cool to have them go down further and further. Because obviously, the further away from their base I can give them when they finally get to, you know, the middle of the map, the better off I'm going to be. I mean, I don't want them, you know, roaming around where my dwarves sleep and breaking walls and making it impossible for my guys to sleep at all. Because that would just be, I think that would be the end. I would never be able to defeat this many people if they couldn't sleep. I mean, now, granted, I could take all my dwarves and set up a temporary base someplace else and put a whole bunch of beds over there so they can just sleep in like this little tiny barracks if my base ever truly got invaded and I couldn't take it back right away. But that would be such a pain in the butt. I mean, it would just be ridiculous to try to do that. And I mean, it would be funny because it would be kind of realistic. Like, you just got totally taken and now you got to go back and retake your base. That may be a scenario we play out in the sandbox. I think that would be kind of cool if you guys are interested in seeing something like that, me letting my base get taken over just so that I can go back and retake it. Let me know, because I think that would be kind of funny now that I'm thinking about it. All of you guys come over here to mine, and not one of you bring a piece of dirt. Except for you. You have a piece of dirt, but you're not going to put it down. Unbelievable. Like, none of you guys can mine right now because none of you brought any dirt. Okay, I'll put some scaffolding down just so that you guys will do something. Unbelievable. And I'm sure they're going to put a piece of dirt right on my scaffolding and I'll lose that. Because that's the kind of dwarves they are. Let me get rid of it. So at least now they can climb up. They don't need my scaffolding there. Okay, so they are finally putting some dirt down. Oh, you... Come on. You suck so bad, dwarf. You do. You do. Here's a portal. Ugh. Dwarves, man. I knew that was going to happen. Anytime they climb down, and there's really no reason for him to have done that. I know there's resources down here, but he had other stuff to do. He didn't need to climb down there. You know, it's just the intelligence of the dwarves can really throw you through a loop sometimes. So I am going to get rid of this scaffolding before I forget it's even here. And I need to make a few more torches, because I don't think I'm going to have anywhere close to the amount I need before we get to the end of the tunnel. So you can always use wood and resin, and that creates the torches I like to look at. But there are these slime torches that I don't really use that often. They use bones, 2 of them, and 1 thing of slime. I think I have tons of bones. Yeah, 248 bones, and slime I actually don't have that much of. So in this situation, using the regular torches for me is the best I can do. But I know some people like the look of the other one. You know, to each their own. I just wish the other ones had some kind of effect. You know, like spiders would spawn more often in there so you could get more webs, or, you know, mushrooms would spawn more often. Or maybe monsters had a chance at spawning, but only certain kinds. So you could use it as like a farming tool so that you could get... where are you guys going? Oh my god, you guys are doing it again. You guys, oh my god. If I forget the portal for like 5 seconds, these guys take it upon themselves to go in the worst possible path to get back home. Oh, he finally broke through. So what did we get? We got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 pieces of stone. So that kind of gives you an idea of why it takes so long. It's like condensed down into some, you know, super concentrated form of stone. So that would be cool to make your house out of, if you could ever, you know, like reconstitute that. But to my knowledge, you can't. It'd be cool if they add that in there, though. Let's see, who are my guys getting attacked by? Ah, okay. Well, if you just went back home, he'd step on another trap and die right away. In fact, let me check my dwarves' life. Not this guy, but some of my other guys who have fallen down and couldn't get back up. Let's see. No, everybody's at least at 2, except for you. And once you get done constructing this, I'm gonna tell you to go to bed, just in case, because you never know when they're gonna take another fall like that. And I would imagine they could probably only survive maybe 2 or 3 of those falls before, you know, their entire life is completely gone. So, I don't know, I just don't want to lose any of my dwarves for something so simple. Let's put a portal here. Let's see, we could be digging from the other side as well, which I guess is not that bad of an idea. Yeah, let's finish it off over here. Now, what I could do is actually dig down and let them go even further, which I think I might actually do, because that sounds like a whole lot better of an idea. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So let's put a piece of dirt here. Actually, no, we're not going to put a piece of dirt there. We're going to put a piece of dirt here, just so that I can put a portal right here, and they can climb onto this piece of dirt and start digging from the other side. Once that's done, I'm going to have them dig straight down. Yeah, because if they come through right here, I mean, look how close they are to my base. Now, granted, they can't jump that high, I don't think. But I don't even want to risk it, because they're going to come right over here to my ladder. And, you know, for me to... I'd have to get rid of this, and then that's going to take more time to put it all back later on. So I'd rather just have them come over here and fall down. Maybe not that far, because if they make it this far, they probably are pretty hurt. And I don't want them to die, because I want that experience. Not that I want to level faster, but at this point, once those guys are dead, I think I'm pretty good. I mean, I don't think there's going to be any huge things to worry about other than the waves. And I think with our tech level right now, I don't really think that's going to be too big of an issue. I mean, we're pretty close to getting the towers. I mean, that's not too far away. It looks like there's quite a bit there, but that's going to go by pretty quickly, because we have all the resources we need pretty much for all of this. This is using the later stuff, like the iron and the silver and things of that sort, that we have quite a bit stored up. So I think we're going to go through that pretty quickly. So I'm not really too worried about waves at this point. But I don't know, we just have to be prepared for it, because those could be my famous last words, and then we get a huge wave that just comes through and totally annihilates, you know, my entire base, and that would just really, really suck. So okay, so they are making pretty good headway here. In fact, they are coming through. Yep, they're coming at both sides. And there's still a portal over here, yeah. And they should make it through beforehand. So, Cookbook 13th edition revised and expanded. Also, the poisonous mushrooms and berries. So they excluded that from the last book. Now, I've asked before if that was something in one of the other earlier expansions, and the response I got was no, it's not. It's just something funny they threw in there because they thought it would be, you know, kind of a cool little joke or something like that. Interesting a little tidbit, other than the fact that, you know, it wasn't actually in the game, which is, you know, it'd be funny if it was, though. I mean, I kind of like it if they added stuff to the game and then later on down the road been like, nah, you know what, we really don't like that. You know, so we're going to take it out. And then somewhere down the road after that, make fun of themselves for even having it in the first place. A lot of games, if they ever make any mistakes, they just kind of like to forget about it. And, you know, who doesn't? I mean, nobody likes to, you know, let people know that you made those mistakes in the first place. But it is kind of funny when you see a game company who's willing to, you know, laugh at it. Because not very many people do. And so I greatly enjoy that when it actually happens. It's kind of like one of those inside jokes that if you were paying attention, you get it. But if you weren't, well, we're not going to explain it to you. We'll let one of the other hardcore fans do it, and you both can have a little laugh at it. So let's see. You know what? If we keep going down this direction, yeah, that's going to be good. It's going to get us right to our ladder, which means my dwarves can get to it, but it's still outside my base. So I don't have to worry, you know, if they do make it this far, that it's going to affect my sleeping in one little bit. So let's do some more dirt here. Grab that. Guess we can start digging from this side, too. How's the portal? 2 minutes? That's still good. I guess let's do another portal just to give it a little bit longer. And we don't need this here. Let's get rid of these. And we will put down some more seeds. Right there. Now, you kind of have to concentrate on that because that's another one thing of those things that take a long time to do. So you may always have other things that you want to be doing at that moment, but if you let that lapse for a long time, and then when you really need it, you're like, oh great, now I have to wait like an hour and a half and really concentrate on that just to get the numbers I need. So if you just do it slowly over time as it becomes ready, and make sure to always stop what you're doing no matter how much you want to keep going, just to take a few seconds and do that, it's going to help you out so much in the end. So yeah, I would highly suggest doing that as much as possible. And I don't always do it, which is, learn from my mistakes, basically, is what I'm saying, because it definitely does suck to kind of have to sit there. If you got other things you want to do. Now, some people, they don't mind playing the game kind of slow, and they actually enjoy it quite a bit, just going through and taking their time and building stuff. And I enjoy games like that as well, for the most part, but I don't know, when I'm doing this game, I get really wrapped up in the combat. It's one of those things that's just weird. I've never had another game that really did that to me, where I would break the kind of game player basically that I am, just to go off and try something that I normally don't do, which it's really fun because, again, I'm usually not that aggressive in video games. Like when Command and Conquer and World of Warcraft and things like that, not World of Warcraft, but Warcraft back in the day, before it became an MMO. In games like that, let me put this down. In games like that, I would always be the one who sat there and built up my forces to the umpth degree, so that when I did finally attack, there was no resources on the map. I had no other choice to attack, and I attacked with 10,000 troops and 100 tanks and helicopters, and I was attacking from 15 sides, and I had a mobile base, and all the cool little gadgets, and I was ready to go. And he didn't last more than 10 seconds when I finally started to attack. That kind of thing is the way I normally played. So let's remove this torch right here, and we're gonna have to start putting some mines down, or traps down. So yeah, when I tell you I'm not normally the aggressive type in these games, especially like these city builders and Halos and stuff like that, Gears of War, you got to be the aggressive type, and the more aggressive you are, the better off you end up being in that level. But in games like this, I totally like to take my time, and yeah, it's a nice change to be able to experience what it's like to actually be very aggressive in this. And I think it's because of just the way the game is made up, because I've never done that before. So unless something in my personality was altered, dramatically, then obviously it's not me doing it. It's the game mechanics that kind of make me want to feel like I should be doing that, and I like that. It's a nice change. Now, some people may not get that way when they play this game, and that's cool. I mean, that's everybody has their own different things they want to do in the game, but I don't know. Like I said, it's just one of those things for me. I think that's why I can play this as much as I do, because it has a lot of levels to it. I greatly enjoy building. I greatly enjoy using my mind to try to think of unique ways of completing a task rather than the obvious. They're going to give you, the towers, and I could set up a whole tower over here and just kind of, if I built it where they fell down, and then put, say, right here they fall down, and then I dig right here, and I put a little blockway right here. Well, they're going to be stuck down here. They can't move because they can only move on 2 rows and not 1 row. So if I only made it one row right here, I could have my dwarves stand here with arrows and just shoot them all day long, and there's nothing they could do because the Guardian would be the only one who could hit me, and he's not going to come down. If you look at where the Guardian is, he's right here, and the Guardian never moves from where he's at. I've tried pulling the Guardians out plenty of times, and yeah, they don't cooperate. They stay in there, whatever little room that they have, as long as possible. So I could sit here and do that, or I could sit here and put a Tesla tower and mark it up where it's protected, and it could just shoot down there and destroy them that way as well. But I kind of like doing the traps. I like doing things that obviously most people probably would not do. It'd be kind of a waste of time, like building all these tunnels and and creating like this obstacle course of death, like in some kind of Stephen King movie or something. Because that's exactly what it is, I don't remember, what was it? Was it like Tales from the Crypt? I saw one time that had it where, oh, I'm not gonna say it because it might be too much for some of the younger guys watching, but I do apologize. I shouldn't have brought that up in the first place. That's gonna drive some of you crazy. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, there's some sick and twisted stuff out there that does things like this. I never even considered that's exactly what I was doing until I started thinking about the point of view of these guys. Like, what are they gonna be thinking? Like, oh, we're gonna go kill that guy, right? Like, they're evil, but then they're thrown into something that's even more evil. That would be a good premise of a horror movie, you know, like like this Jason or the Freddy thrown into something that makes him shriek like the guys he hunts normally do when he's hunting them, you know, like flip the roles where there's always a bigger fish in the sea. And I'm sure there's horror movies out there that probably have done that. I'm not usually a horror person movie kind of guy, you know. I actually usually stay away from stuff like that because I don't really find horror all that interesting for the most part. But I think the idea of that is probably more attractive to me than anything else, because as a writer I greatly enjoy, you know, thinking of new things that haven't been done yet, because almost everything has, it seems like, this these days. So it's definitely hard to be original, or as much as you would like anyways. No, what are you guys doing? Oh my god, guys. Seriously, guys? Oh my god. Are you teleporting back? I guess that's better than what I thought you were going to be doing. I thought they were going to go all the way to the base so they could use the teleporter to get up here. That would have just been a nightmare. Now, one of my guys seems not to have very much stuff on him. That's this guy. Did I ever make anything for him? No, I did not. He at least needs a pickaxe. How did I not have a pickaxe for him? Or did he die? Maybe he died, because I could have swore I at least gave him a pickaxe and an axe. Not that he's doing very much mining, but still, I mean, that would just... That's ridiculous. He should have at least that. It's like the poorest dwarf I have. We can put another portal over here so they can do it from both sides. And then I will go back and check on my trees, because I need a little bit more wood. And we are going to have to... We're going to have to teleport someplace else, I'm guessing, because... Yeah, and we need more traps for this side as well, because now we are level 11. So I would not be surprised if we get 2 portals this time instead of 1. And so I want to be ready for that. Let's see. Man, there's not a lot of trees on the map. Yeah, 6 trees on the map. Now, I could, and I do remember I have that spell where I can cast and I can create my own trees. So that might be what I do. I might come up here to the top and just cast it. Yeah, I guess I can do that, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until they do all the traps that they can do, because I already have a lot of portals down here, and that's a lot of power that I spent, which I don't want to waste, sending them in like 2 to 3 different locations. I want them to all be able to concentrate on one little thing. Now, you know what? I think we're going to go ahead and end the episode here, because I don't want to make it too long. And on the next episode, we are definitely going to get through this tunnel. So hopefully you guys will join me for that. I think that's going to be that's going to be a great episode, because I'm greatly looking forward to sending them through my maze of horrors. I should throw some mirrors in here just to like be creepy as crap. Like some kind of weird horror movie funhouse with the strange stuff. Oh, we're totally doing that, guys. We're throwing some carpets, you know, tapestries and some mirrors down here. It's gonna look so creepy, but very, very cool, I think, in the end. Again, guys, I want to thank you all for watching. Please hit that like button, subscribe if you like these episodes. Greatly helps, or greatly increases my channel's rating and helps me grow it as well. So again, guys, if you have any comments, let me know what you think of this horror idea of my traps and the idea of breaking through this bottom piece, which I think is incredibly cool. And I want to send out a big thanks to Rob yet again for that little tip. So again, guys, I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Thanks again for watching.